Hi YouTube, it's Tennille from VSG coming in with my week 3 and 4 update from my post-op from my vertical sleeve gastrectomy or gastric sleeve. I had it done on the 20th of March 2015. Oh my goodness. I am officially, tomorrow I will be 4 weeks post-op, so I didn't get around to doing a video last week. I got a little bit busy and just didn't have time to make one. Last week, I actually had a bit of a gain last week, but I wasn't too worried about it. I'd already been warned by my dietitian that it was likely to happen, or even just a stall. And the reason that he gave behind it is that when you do your OptiFast diet before your surgery, you lose so much fluid out of your liver. So the main reason for doing your OptiFast is to actually remove the fluid out of the liver so that the surgeon can actually move the liver to the side. A lot of people believe it's so that you can remove fat from the liver, but it's actually to remove the fluid, so it actually shrinks the liver down in size. So once you've actually had your surgery and start eating food, that liver's got to then actually regain all of that water again. And so being that I was on my second week of purees last week, first week of puree, sorry, I was actually starting to eat carbohydrates, and that actually is what brings on the water into the liver. So he had pre-warned me that I would likely gain or stall in that first 1 or 2 weeks. He said that anywhere up to week 5 you can stall, and yeah, it was last week. So I went up to 108 kilos last week, and that, it didn't really bother me too much because I knew that I'd just had surgery and I was still getting used to eating purees, which are yum, by the way. And yeah, it just, I still knew that I'd lost 13 kilos anyway, so I'd had a really good feeling about it, and my clothes are fitting really well, so that made me feel, yeah, it didn't bother me at all. I'm just trying to think. I was still recovering. The last video I did, I had torn the side stitch. I'd actually gone to see the surgeon, and he confirmed that he thinks it was a possible that I'd either torn a stitch out from underneath, or possibly even the incision a little bit. So I was basically put on strictly no activity. I wasn't allowed to clean my house. I wasn't allowed to do anything with the kids. Well, I did limited things with the kids, but I'm still not allowed to lift them. And then, yeah, that's kind of eased up a bit now. So I just kind of laid low. I did manage to get through a newborn shoot last week, and I had a really lovely friend come and help me do it, so I didn't have to do the lifting. I just did the photographing and the work afterwards. So it was nice to actually get back to doing my work. Then what did I do? Yeah, so last week I started pureed foods. I found it a bit of a mission to come up with purees. My kids never actually had pureed food when they were babies. They went straight on to normal food and would just mush it up while they were eating. So I came up with, I was struggling to get the vegetables in because I'm not a big vegetable eater. But yeah, I ended up making up a beetroot and feta dip, and so I knew at least I was getting the beetroot as part of my vegetable intake, and I had that on my with my food. I had a white bean dip as well, but it wasn't that nice. And hummus was what I was also eating. I had some pureed chicken, and it sounds really horrible to have pureed meat, and I was really worried about it because just the thought of it was like, oh. But then I started getting creative, and my family had lamb chops one night, and so I pureed up like it was about that much of a lamb chop with potato and some carrot, and I just blended it up with some gravy, and it basically, I had the potato, like I did the potato underneath, and then I had the meat and the carrot and the gravy pureed, and it just tasted like it was a meat pie. So I actually really enjoyed that, and I went to a friend's house on Sunday. We go to a friend's house every Sunday night for dinner, and I was worried about whether I'd be able to eat anything there. And then when I got there, I took I used to sell Tupperware, so I've got 50 million Tupperware things, but I took my little chopper with me so that I could blend up any of my food. And we had pork roast and a bit of lamb roast for dinner. And so I did the same thing. I had my vegetables on the bottom, and then I pureed up my meat with the gravy, and it was really, really yum. So it's about getting creative. Like, it really was hard in the beginning to come up with things. I lived on, like, I had custard, and I had the little tubs of pureed fruit, and I just couldn't bring myself to eat mashed banana. It's just, not something I enjoy, so I couldn't bring myself to do that. But I had frozen berries, I had strawberries and raspberries, and I blended them up, and I'd have that with custard. And my kids actually would sit there and have their frozen berries while I had my frozen berry puree. So whatever my family was eating, I tried to kind of stick with that. So then this week, I've still been on pureed, but I was then allowed to actually increase the consistency just a little bit. And I was allowed Croskets. And oh my gosh, I never liked Croskets beforehand, but I do now. They were so yummy, just having something to crunch on. You have to chew it really well, but it basically dissolves in your mouth. So I would have my dip on the Croskets with some cottage cheese or something. And that was really yummy. I could get through 2 Croskets easily, well, not easily, but I'd get to about that much left of the last Crosket, and I'd be sitting there thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I? But I'd finish it, and that would keep me satisfied for lunchtime, or I'd have it for a snack as well. So that really varied up the diet a little bit. I'm still having one Optifast shake a day, and I'm kind of getting sick of them, but I saw my dietitian yesterday, and I start real food tomorrow. I'm so excited. My dietitian actually doesn't recommend doing a soft food diet. He just recommends going straight on to normal food. So tomorrow I can pretty much have free reign of whatever I like within reason. He believes in a balanced diet, so in Australia, they, instead of, like, I know in America, a lot of the YouTube videos talk about having high protein, low carbs, but he actually wants me to have the opposite. He wants to have a really well-balanced diet, so that needs to include carbohydrates, meat, vegetables, dairy, oils. Basically, I have to have something from out of all of the food groups. And so I think it makes it a bit easier that I'm not constantly sitting there going, oh, I need more protein, I need this and I need that. I can pretty much have what my family are eating, which I'm looking forward to. Just in the last couple of days, I've had more pain, but it's on the other side now. It's on my left-hand side. It kind of feels like a really sharp stitch pain, like when you've been exercising and you suddenly get that stitch in your side and you can't breathe. It's only when I stand up, and I rang the surgeon's office yesterday, but it turns out that she was away. So she rang back this morning, and it's his receptionist, and she does sound a little bit concerned. It could be anything from gas pain, which, like, I tried some degas last night to try and help move anything that might have been stuck. I haven't had any pain this morning yet, but yesterday it started at 11 o'clock, and it's just really random. It just starts out of nowhere and then just stop, like it'll just stop. But if I sit down, it usually stops. And I put heat on it yesterday, and it felt like my muscle was spasming. So I've got my psychologist appointment tomorrow, so I'm going back in tomorrow just to have a chat with his receptionist, and she said worst case, if it's still playing up by tomorrow, she'll get me in on Monday to see my surgeon. He's away on holidays this week, so but she said worst case she'll just fit me in on Monday to get checked, because she said it could be anything from gas pain, it could even be a hernia, it could be anything. So she just wants me to take it easy for the next couple of days, which is getting frustrating because literally my house keeps getting trashed, and I have lovely friends that keep coming and cleaning, but yeah, my family can't keep it clean, and I can't do it. So and I probably have packed the dishwasher and things like that, and I probably shouldn't have been doing that, and maybe that's what's caused the pain. So we're just going to see how it goes at the moment. I'm not feeling unwell or anything like that, and so they're not concerned that it's a leak in my stomach. It's definitely a muscular pain. But I forgot to say, this week my scales are officially saying I'm down to 105.4 kilos. So that's 14.6 kilos I've lost in total since I started OptiFast. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm starting to notice it myself. My pants are loose, my shirt's loose. I'm definitely seeing it in my face now. So yeah, it's definitely starting to show, and people are starting to notice, which is good. But I've now got to start retraining everyone, because even while I was on Purée, I was still getting that, should you be eating that? That's got lots of sugar in it, that's got calories, it's got this and that. And I've got to get out of that, and it's whatever I choose to eat. And what my dietitian said is, if I choose to eat something that's a little bit higher in fat or a little bit higher in sugar, it just means that I'll lose weight slower. So I need to be aware of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this next phase, and I'm pretty excited. So anyway, I will catch up with you all probably next week. I'll see how I go for time. I can't really do it during the week when I've got kids here. It's just maniac. So you just have to wait until I have my days off with work. But yeah, if I've got something on, I can't always get to it. So that's what happened last week. I was photographing a newborn, so I didn't get to do my video. So you can always check out my business page. It's Tulip Flare Photography, if you're interested. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.